Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're plunging headfirst into the profound world of the 12th century Persian poet and mystic Attar Nishapuri.
A fascinating figure.
Absolutely. This is episode 31 of our Wisdom Unveiled series, and we're going to keep exploring his truly radical insights. Our mission for this deep dive really is to unpack Attar's transformative views on, well, the human journey, what truly satisfies us, and how his philosophy redefines concepts as fundamental as paradise and even death itself.
Yeah, big topics. And we're drawing from those illuminating conversations between the Iranian philosophers, Dr. Ibrahim Dinani and Dr. Esmail Manzouri Larijani, from their Marifat recording.
Exactly. Yeah. And just a quick note for you listening. As we explore these deep ideas, remember we're translating conversations that were originally in Farsi.
Right, and translation always has its challenges, especially with poetry and mysticism.
We've definitely strived to capture the profound nuances, but some subtleties might not come across perfectly, so we invite you to journey with us, acknowledging that depth.
Well said.
Okay, let's begin to unpack Attar. So, to start, let's dive into this captivating anecdote from Attar's Musibatnama, his book of Affliction.
Ah, yes, the story of Ibrahim Adham.
Right. It tells of Ibrahim Adham and a horseman. The horseman rides up and asks him basically, where's the real settlement? Where's the prosperity? The word is Abadani, right? Where's the Abadani, O traveler?
Yeah, and what's absolutely fascinating here is Ibrahim Adham's background. You know, he wasn't just anyone.
No, he was royalty.
Exactly. Born a prince, a sultan who famously just walked away from his kingdom to follow the spiritual path, the suluk.
Incredible.
So when this very worldly horseman, who clearly only gets, earthly stuff, asks about Abdani, this prosperity or true habitation, Ibrahim Adham points straight to the graveyard.
Which you can imagine.
Yeah. The horseman is enraged, absolutely furious.
He actually whips Ibrahim Adham. Makes him bleed.
He does, because the idea of a graveyard being prosperity, it makes zero sense to him. It's absurd.
But then the story takes a turn.
Right. The horseman rides into the nearby city, and what does he see? People rushing out to welcome someone.
The very man he just beat.
Ibrahim Adham himself. And they're saying things like, whoever sees him will find peace and prosperity.
Wow. So the horseman realizes his mistake pretty quickly.
Instantly. He goes back, apologizes profusely, and Ibrahim Adham, importantly, immediately accepts his apology.
But okay, let's get to the core question. What on earth does Attar mean by this provocative answer from Ibrahim Adham? Why call the graveyard Abadani prosperity and the busy city Karabi ruin?
Well, this really drills down into Attar's profound understanding of human nature, his anthropology, you could say.
Okay.
Attar suggests humans are unique. We have this super-terrestrial dimension.
Super-terrestrial. Meaning beyond just the earthly.
Exactly. Unlike animals, whose desires are mostly met once basic needs, food, shelter are sorted, humans, Attar says, are inherently dissatisfied beings.
Dissatisfied beings. That's a striking phrase.
Isn't it? We're constant seekers, always looking for something more, something beyond what we currently have. Even if someone conquered the whole planet.
They'd want the moon next.
Right. Or other planets, or the unseen, or eternity. There's this endless yearning.
So, if I'm hearing this right, Attar's saying that this dissatisfaction isn't a flaw, it's actually fundamental to being human. It's like a kind of divine homesickness that worldly things just can't cure.
That's a perfect way to put it. Precisely. So when Ibrahim Adham points to the graveyard, he's not talking about, the dirt and the headstones.
No.
He's pointing towards our ultimate destiny, the realm where our true higher aspirations finally find their home, where they're realized.
And the cities. The worldly prosperity.
From this perspective, they're in a constant state of decay, always changing, always falling short, ultimately leading to ruin or Karabi. Attar actually says something like, cities become more ruined every day, but the other world, that realm beyond this life, is never ruined.
So it's really about the inner state then, isn't it? Like that saying, if there's light inside you, your grave is light. If darkness, your grave is dark.
Exactly that. True prosperity isn't about external stuff you pile up. It's about what you cultivate inside.
The inner landscape.
It connects directly to this human condition of always striving, always becoming. Attar implies, God says, I am what I am. But humans, we have to say, I am not what I am.
Because we're always reaching.
Always reaching for an ideal we haven't grasped yet. And that phrase, kase sarkaktan, your skull will become dust. It sounds grim, but
It's more than just about death.
Much more. It's Attar's way of just stripping away the illusion of permanence in the physical world, cutting through the noise to ask what really lasts beyond this fleeting physical Abadani.
Okay. So this inherent human dissatisfaction, this constant seeking, it seems to define us. Given this kind of restless nature, how does Attar guide us? Where do we go with this quest for ultimate truth?
Well, Attar maps it out. He describes 3 fundamental stages on the mystical path. They are Sharia, Tariqa, and Haqiqa.
The law, the path, and the truth. Roughly translated.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. So the first path, Sharia, that's about the outward stuff. Observing the law.
Following the rules.
But not just blindly. Attar calls it worship without natural inclination, meaning you do it consciously with real intention, not just out of habit.
Ah, so habit can be a problem.
He thinks so. Habit can be the enemy of real thought, real consciousness. It makes us complacent. Sharia is also about defining our key relationships, how we connect to the divine and how we connect to society.
Well, society isn't just like a bunch of people.
No, absolutely not. It's more than the sum of its parts. Think of a family, maybe 10 people. It's not just 10 individuals.
Right, it's the connections, the history.
Exactly. That whole intricate web, the shared identity that emerges. And Attar emphasizes to relate properly to God and society, you first need to understand and relate correctly to yourself.
Self-knowledge. It always comes back to that, doesn't it?
It's absolutely key here. So once you move beyond that outward observance of Sharia, you enter Tariqa, the second path.
The path, the inner journey.
Precisely. This is the esoteric side. It's focused on uncovering the hidden truths within yourself. And here, Attar makes a really interesting distinction about the self.
Okay.
He talks about the experiential self. That's the part of us caught up in daily life, always changing with new experiences, joys, sorrows.
The self we usually think of as me.
Pretty much. But
Yeah.
then there's the absolute self. This is the self that transcends all those fleeting experiences. It's the witness.
The witness.
Yeah, the one who has all these experiences but is never fully satisfied by any of them. It's always looking beyond. And that absolute self is the one moving towards the ultimate goal.
Which is Haqiqa, the truth.
The truth, which Attar also calls effacement or annihilation, Fana.
Fana, that sounds intense, like a complete redefinition of reality.
It is, and he applies this radical idea everywhere. Take paradise, for instance.
How does he reimagine paradise?
Well, Attar includes this incredibly bold dialogue. A seeker actually questions paradise itself directly.
And that's allowed. Isn't that disrespectful?
Apparently not. The philosophers discussing this call it the piety of intellect. For Attar, real understanding isn't passive. It needs active, creative inquiry. Your mind isn't just a bucket to fill. It needs to engage, to question.
Okay, so what happens in this questioning of paradise?
Paradise describes itself in these glorious terms, garden within a garden, rivers of wine, milk, honey.
The traditional imagery.
Right. And the promise, whatever you desire is there, and whatever's there you desire sounds perfect. But then comes the twist.
Uh-oh.
Paradise tells the seeker, I am paradise because I saw another paradise.
Whoa. Paradise saw another paradise.
Exactly. Its own essence, its very being as paradise comes from witnessing something higher, the beauty of truth itself, the splendor of the divine.
So it's not the garden itself, but the source of the garden's beauty.
Precisely. It's like Rumi's question, is sugar better or the one who makes the sugar? You look beyond the creation to the creator, the artist, and the artwork.
That is a radical reframing. But what about people who find comfort in the traditional idea of paradise? Does Attar's view kind of take that away? Does it risk alienating people?
That's a fair question. I don't think he's trying to take it away necessarily. It feels more like he's trying to elevate it, invite a deeper appreciation, look beyond the surface.
Okay.
And this seeking beyond the surface, it connects to the story of Adam in the garden too, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, many mystics see the forbidden tree not just as, the tree of knowledge in general, but specifically the tree of marifat.
Marifat, that deep, intuitive, spiritual knowing, gnosis.
Exactly, gnosis. So from that angle, Adam's act, maybe it wasn't just simple disobedience. Perhaps it was more like a challenging test of intellect, even a necessary step towards a higher kind of knowing, a deeper perfection, even if it meant separation first.
So sometimes growth means stepping out of comfortable ignorance, even if it's disruptive.
It seems that way. Yeah, it's a challenging thought.
So this deep knowing, this gnosis of divine presence, how does Attar describe it being with everything? You mentioned that earlier.
Ah, right. He draws on this incredible saying from Imam Ali. I saw nothing except that I saw God before it, after it, and with it.
Before, after, and with it.
Yeah, and before and after here aren't about time. They mean God as the origin, the source, and God as the ultimate reality, the destination.
Okay.
But the really crucial part is with it, Mahu. That signifies this all-encompassing, constant, sustaining, divine presence. It's intimate with everything, but not limited by anything.
Like it's woven into the fabric of reality.
Beautifully put, yeah. Like a circle whose center is everywhere and circumference is nowhere, that kind of idea. For someone who reaches the state of gnosis, the veil lifts. They perceive that divine presence in everything. It's not hidden anymore.
That's, an extraordinary perspective. It can completely reframes paradise, presence. What about death, our biggest collective fear?
Yeah.
How does gnosis change that for Attar?
Oh, it transforms it radically. For Attar, and for someone who's attained this gnosis, death isn't an endpoint.
Not the final curtain.
Not at all. It's a transition, like stepping from a dark room into sunlight, from night into the true dawn.
Because of the inner light.
Exactly.
Right.
The inner light of Marifat, of gnosis, makes the outer darkness of death just fade away. Most people fear death because they identify so strongly with the physical body, right? And the fear of the unknown.
Sure.
But if you cultivate this inner certainty, this gnosis, death becomes familiar. Maybe even a welcome transition. It kind of reminds me of Socrates saying philosophy is practice for dying.
Not in a morbid way.
No. But in detaching from just a purely physical, the sensory, to focus on that higher meaning.
Okay, so Attar gives reasons why death could even be joyful.
He gives 5 specific reasons, yeah. For someone with gnosis, first, revelation. Death pulls back the curtain, reveals deeper knowing.
Okay.
Second, union. The ultimate meeting with the beloved, ending all the separation we feel in life.
The end of that dissatisfaction.
Could be. Third, divine glory. God's majesty becomes fully manifest, just overwhelming everything else. Fourth, liberation. The soul is finally freed from the body's limits, which Attar often saw as a kind of cage or prison.
Right. And the fifth.
This one's wild. Ecstatic joy. Pure, uncontrollable laughter at the moment of union, burning away all fear and sorrow.
Laughter at death. That's incredibly counterintuitive.
Absolutely. But that's the perspective gnosis offers, according to Attar, and this leads to that idea you mentioned, voluntary death, marge eختیاری.
Yeah, that sounds pretty drastic. Is he talking about literal suicide?
No, absolutely not. Definitely not. It's a spiritual state you achieve while you're still alive.
Okay, so what does it mean then?
It means you're operating primarily from your spirit, from your gnosis. The demands of the physical body, the ego, they just don't rule you anymore.
It's ultimate self-mastery.
That's it. Your actions, your ethics, they come from deep inner conviction, not just following external rules or chasing base desires. You effectively die to that lower self, the ego.
I see. Dying to the self while living.
Exactly. Rumi, who was hugely influenced by Attar, tells that great story.
The one on the boat?
Yeah. The grammarian, so proud of his knowledge, his rules. He's on a sinking boat with a mystic, a Mavi, someone who embodies this effacement.
Right.
Boat's going down, and the mystic calmly asks the grammarian, "Hey, do you know how to swim?" Grammarian says no, and the mystic just replies, "Well, then all your life's work, all that grammar, totally wasted."
Ouch. Highlighting that practical spiritual knowledge is what counts when things get real.
Exactly. That state of effacement, that gnosis, is far more valuable than just intellectual understanding when you face life's real challenges, or its ultimate challenge.
So this final stage, Haqiqa.
At Haqiqa, one becomes, as Attar puts it, effaced from all human attributes so that divine attributes may manifest. Even your intellect isn't really yours anymore. It reflects divine reality.
Wow.
That's when you truly grasp the meaning of that Quranic verse. Wherever you turn, there is the face of God. It's not seeing with your physical eyes.
And perceiving that divine presence everywhere.
A total shift in perception. And finally, Attar uses that paradoxical phrase, our side is the side of no side.
Meaning?
Transcending all boundaries, all limitations. Connecting with the boundless, the infinite. No more us and them, here and there, just presence.
That's astonishing. What a journey. We've gone from rethinking prosperity not as stuff, but as an inner state connected to ultimate reality, to seeing paradise not just as a garden, but as a state born from seeing divine beauty.
Right. Witnessing the source.
And death transformed from this terrifying end into potentially a moment of ecstatic joy and union.
Right.
It's a completely profound shift in perspective.
It really is, isn't it? And the hinge seems to be cultivating that deep inner knowledge, that gnosis.
Yeah.
It just fundamentally transforms how you perceive, well, everything. Life, death, reality itself, moving beyond just the surface appearances.
It certainly does, which I suppose brings the question back to you listening. What veils might you still be holding on to?
Yeah. What might be blocking that deeper knowing within yourself? Maybe it's less about getting more and more about letting go of what obscures that inner light.
That's a powerful thought.
And perhaps thinking about how we could cultivate that kind of inner certainty, the kind that could change how we face any big transition.
Not just death.
Right, not just death, but maybe losing a job or moving house or any significant change. Could we see those moments with more acceptance? Maybe even, as Attar suggests with death, with a sense of liberation or even celebration.
What if our true Abadani, our true prosperity, isn't out there somewhere, but deep within us already?
Exactly.
Definitely something profound to ponder. Thank you so much for joining us again for this deep dive in Wisdom Unveiled.
A pleasure as always.
We really hope you'll continue exploring these incredible ideas with us. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning.
And keep unveiling that wisdom in your own way.